We're getting information from all over the country right now. We want to go to aviation expert and CBS correspondent Kris Van Cleave. Kris, on the national end, what have you heard about this incident that happened here in Philadelphia?
Well, we know the president has been briefed. We know that the Secretary of Transportation is tracking this. He has tweeted that there were 6 people on board. We understand that to be the 2 pilots, 2 medical professionals, a pediatric patient, and likely a relative of that patient. We know the NTSB is almost assuredly going to investigate this accident. They investigate any fatal aviation accident, so we expect they will be sending investigators to the scene. One of the things that they'll work to determine, the Lear 55 is an older airplane. It may or may not be equipped with the black boxes that we think of when we think of an aviation crash. Many Lear jets do have some data recorder. They'll look to try to determine if they can locate that. Obviously, something went horrifically wrong shortly after this plane took off.
Kris, if there is no black box, that will, I would assume, hamper this investigation a great deal. Your thoughts?
Well, certainly the more data an investigator can have, the better. But they have been able to investigate accidents in aircraft that don't have data recorders or don't have voice recorders. There will be evidence amongst the wreckage that will be able to help guide them in what may have happened. At the very least, what they'll be able to start doing is understanding what did not go wrong. Mm-hmm. It's clear the jet had power, so they'll be able to look at what's left of the engines and likely determine whether they were operating at the point of impact.
Now,
so that yes, you can solve an investigation even if there are not data recorders, a black box, a voice recorder.
Kris, what do you make of the fact that this plane went down at the angle that it did? The video that we've been showing shows it going nosediving, essentially at a 45-degree angle. The fact that it went down so quickly after takeoff.
Well, I'd be speculating as to what happened after takeoff. It certainly appears to be a situation where the pilots were not in control of the airplane. So, what could cause a situation like that? Investigators will want to know if the airplane stalled. Did something happen on the flight deck to one of the pilots? Could there have been a medical emergency? There's all kinds of things that could have gone wrong. It appears clear for the plane to come out of the sky like a missile like that, mm-hmm. That something led to a loss of control, a loss of normal flight.
So your professional opinion, this could be a very, very long investigation.
NTSB investigations typically last about a year. Generally speaking, answers come, but they don't come quickly, and everybody wants to know right now. That's one of the frustrating parts for people, I think, when they're waiting for an NTSB investigation is, they'll tell you what they see fairly quickly when they get on scene. Like we're seeing playing out here in Washington, D.C. right now. They'll mm-hmm. tell us what they know. They're not going to know a lot right away. And then it'll be 30 days or so, and then we'll get a preliminary report. That'll be a statement of facts. That'll be what they know at that point. We'll draw no conclusion. And then the final conclusions won't be drawn until that report is done. That typically is a year.
And what complicates this, Kris, is the fact that this accident occurred in a very densely populated area of the Northeast Philadelphia community there, and there is quite a wide debris field as well. So that's something else that investigators will be dealing with as they start collecting evidence and collecting the debris.
The NTSB is very good at what they do. So I think what is most remarkable when you look at where this plane came down and the way it came down, and the amount, the size of the explosion we saw related to this plane, there's a lot of fuel on board, clearly, is that it came down, largely it appears in a street. Think about if that's a row of row homes, if that's an apartment building, we are talking about a much different tragedy.
Wow. Unbelievable. Kris, stand by real quick, because I just want to review with our viewers that 6 people, as you mentioned, were on the plane. 6 people, 2 pilots, a child patient, and a family member. And we've just confirmed that juvenile patient finished treatment in Philadelphia and was going to be transported back to Mexico. I just wanted to pass that on.